Is the Chinese President Xi Jinping in crisis? Is he paying the price for his third term? For declaring himself president for life?
What if we told you that the foundation for trust in the Chinese Communist government was about to crash completely? Conspiracies and speculations are not new to the CCP, but we have to tell you more. So here are 3 incidents that can make you suspicious about the Chinese government. Number 3. The car crash at Zhongnanhai. The third incident is so strange that even the media do not know how to report it. On a usual day in Beijing's busy streets, what happened was something so dramatic that it could make up for a good action scene in a Hollywood movie. A man, a car, and a desperate cry against the ruling class set the whole thing off. A powerful and noisy engine powers a gleaming black automobile as it races down the road. There's only one inside, and he's shouting. Abruptly, the vehicle smashes through the Zhongnanhai's main gates, a significant Chinese government location. As the dust settles and the echoes of the collision fade away, the scene is one of chaos and confusion. Security personnel swarm around the car, their voices raised in urgency as they attempt to apprehend the driver. Amidst the commotion, a single phrase cuts through the air like a knife. Communist Party. The murderers. The video of the incident, filmed by a passerby, goes viral on the web within minutes. The footage is hazy and yet evocative, capturing pure emotions of anger, defiance, and despair that led to extreme steps. It was reported that on March 10th in Beijing, someone driving a black car tried to pass through Zhongnanhai's gate, but could not do so because it was too high. Soon after this happened, armed police officers came and took the driver out of the car before walking away with him. Someone in the vicinity shouted an anti-Chinese Communist Party protest slogan. Given its proximity to Xi Jinping's office, this event has provoked much international attention. They chose an opportune time as it coincided with an important meetings at Zhongnanhai. A luxury vehicle with a Beijing license plate is involved, which means that it might not be just another regular guy behind the wheel. We didn't know what happened to the driver or any details about what was going on. Up to now, discussions about this event have been banned in some Chinese social media. On the one hand, however, you can still find information. But who is this man? What prompted him to crash his car into the gates of power? To answer this question, we need to go more in-depth into Chinese society, where dissatisfaction often floats just below the surface. The poor live shows on television are not comfortable enough. Floods and fires happen, but the government does not pay for the evacuation of people. There is a lot of corruption. The economy grows, but you don't raise wages, and millions of people look at how the rich become richer every year. People are dissatisfied and silent about it. This leads to a situation where there is unreleased anger and disagreement, which can explode at any moment. What will happen to the driver is unknown. While some believe he will receive a severe punishment, others want to see him released. Nevertheless, his acts have sparked a conversation about the future of China among its people. Everyone has something to say about what happened after the crash. For some, it's an indication that something is wrong in China. Some believe it demonstrates the government's strictness. However, one thing is certain: many Chinese people who typically keep quiet have found optimism in the catastrophe. People will never forget what transpired at Zhongnanhai in the future. It demonstrates that humans may remain silent and strong in the face of adversity. Thus, we shall never forget the man who defied the state. So, we'll remember the man who stood up to the government. He might have done something risky, but his bravery shows that hope never dies, even in hard times. Number 2. The explosions in Yan'an area. The explosions in Yan'an area sent shockwaves through the heart of Beijing, disrupting the bustling rhythm of daily life and leaving a trail of devastation in their wake. It all began with a deafening roar that shattered the peace of the morning, followed by a series of powerful explosions that rocked the Yan'an area to its core. What happened in the following few moments was enough to shake the faith of a Chinese citizen. Witnesses reported seeing windows break and glass shower down onto the streets below, causing the buildings to shudder. They also recounted scenes of bewilderment and commotion. Vehicles flipped over and wreckage strewn the roads, revolutionizing the formerly known area into an extremely demolished scene. Also, the population was even more terrified and afraid because they did not know where the explosions had come from. The locals scarcely attempted to reason what had occurred, and terrifying rumors started to circulate. Was this a terrorist attack or just an industrial accident? Shortly after the explosions, the personnel rushed to the scene loudly, clanging sirens as cars sped up on the streets scattered with debris. Paramedics nursed the wounded, their expressions intensely grim as they rolled to keep the injured alive. In the meantime, the government representatives were battling to evaluate the extent of the damage and provide support to the affected ones. Rescue workers scrambled through the wreckage, trying to locate survivors and ensure that no one stayed behind after the disaster. In the days after the dust settled and the initial shock began to fade, one question was asked by many: what caused the explosion, and what does this mean for the future? Some suspected security leaks, breaches, or safety protocol lapses. Others simply couldn't shake the thought that the further attacks were going to target the capital's own heart. After much effort from detectives to eventually piece together what happened in the Yan'an region, they hardly made sense of the nightmare. They took witness testimonies and studied evidence, trying to bring a grain of sense to the chaos. Yet whatever they did, one thing that was undeniable was that this tragic event was going to stay imprinted in the city and the psyche of everyone in its domain. The memory of the explosions lingered with the city's citizens as the days went by and the city started to rebuild, acting as a somber reminder of how fleeting life can be. It served as a harsh reminder that danger is always there in an unpredictable world. Even while the explosions caused psychological and physical harm, they also united the people in a common resolve. They were unified by their tenacity, and they approached the future with optimism, confident that they could get beyond any challenges. Number 1. The press conference incident unfolded during what was meant to be a routine event. A press conference held at the media center of the Dalu Tide State Guest House. Journalists gathered their cameras poised and their notepads ready, keen to capture the comments from the high-ranking officials in attendance. Amidst the buzz of anticipation, the atmosphere suddenly shifted as a female journalist wearing a gray jacket made a sudden and determined rush toward the podium. Her actions were swift and unexpected, catching both the officials and her fellow reporters off guard. In the blink of an eye, security personnel sprang into action, moving swiftly to intercept the journalist and prevent her from reaching the podium. Their movements were quick and coordinated, reflecting the meticulous planning that had gone into ensuring the security of the event. Despite their efforts, the journalist persisted in her determination, unyielding as she attempted to breach the barriers separating her from the high-ranking officials on the podium. Yet, before she could reach her destination, she was swiftly tackled to the ground by a team of security personnel, her momentum halted in its tracks. The incident unfolded in a matter of seconds, yet its impact was felt far beyond the confines of the press conference room. Video footage of the altercation promptly spread across social media platforms, capturing the attention of both domestic and international audiences. As the footage circulated, speculation ran rampant about the journalist's motivations and the reasons behind her sudden outburst. Some speculated that she may have been attempting to ask a question or voice a dissenting opinion, while others suggested that her actions may have been driven by frustration or desperation. So, what about the fundamental freedoms of citizens? In the aftermath of the incident, questions were raised about the state of press freedom in China and the challenges faced by journalists attempting to navigate the complex landscape of censorship and control. The incident served as a stark reminder of the risks faced by those who dare to challenge the status quo and speak truth to power. The journalists' actions, however, also spurred discussions about the significance of a free and independent press in holding individuals in positions of authority accountable amid the turmoil. Which of these incidents shook your faith in the system? Comment below and do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more.